Hi friends, this is Leela. Welcome to my channel Leela WebDev. In this video, we will learn the different types of cors that are available in the HTTP request. We'll try to see it. So before learning about this one, we'll try to learn here in this video about the cross origin resource sharing. In the previous video, we have learned about what is the same origin policy and also the cross origin request. So same origin request and the difference between a cross origin request, we have seen it, right? So now we will see here what exactly this cors is, cross origin resource sharing, and how it plays an important role. We'll try to see in this one. As all of them know about the cors thing, cors stands for cross origin resource sharing. So this is the full form of the cors. And what is this about the cors? So what is the meaning of this cors? It's nothing but a policy to just relax the rules of the same origin policy. We have learned about the same origin policy in our previous video, that if a request is making from the same origin, means the request will be allowed. But if you are trying to make a request to the cross origin which is not of the same origin, means then it will be blocked. Okay, this is the same origin policy. So the request needs to be made from the same origin only. If you are making a request from example.com, means the request should be made to the example.com server only, not to something like xyz.com or facebook.com like that. So that is the same origin policy. And now here, what is this cors is the cross origin resource sharing. So this is a standard. It has been aimed to relax the rules of the same origin policy. So that is the main concept. Remember, the purpose of this same origin policy is to block all the cross origin requests. So we know the importance or the purpose of this same origin policy is to block all the cross origin requests. Does same origin policy block all the cross origin resources? So you need to have a main thing. Does same origin policy blocks all cross origin resources? No. Why? Because, for example, let's say that you have a website, and in that website you are make use of this third-party CDNs like Bootstrap, jQuery. So like these things, third-party libraries, you are making use of those things, right? So those things will be coming from something like ajax.googleapis.com or cdnjs.something.com. Bootstrap also, it will come from bootstrapcdn.com. So like this, it will be coming from the different origin. If you try to see, the website application which you are developing will be in example.com. And you are making a request in the CDN network which is in cdnjs.com or something like that, which is not the same origin. So it violates the same origin policy. So that means the origin policy needs to block. Why? Because we are making a request to the cross origin request. So the thing is no. Otherwise, the CDNs would not work. It does not work on the isolation. So it will not block those things. So then you may be getting doubt that, then what is the use of this cross origin? So you told me that if you are trying to make a request from one same origin only, it will be allowed. Or otherwise, if you are making a request from the other origin, means if I are making from other origin, means I cannot make a request, you are saying. But now here you are saying that you can make. So it will not block all the resources, all the URLs you are saying. So what is the meaning of that one? So here there is an exception. You need to understand one thing. The important thing you need to understand is the source attribute. For example, when you are trying to access the jQuery, you will be using something like script source is equal to, and you will try to add it in HTML. And you may be using something like link relation is equal to, href is equal to, like this you will be adding that one. So whenever you are adding like that through the HTML, that source attribute and also the href attribute, those are not restricted by the same origin policy. So not constrained or not considered or not restricted by the same origin policy. Why? Because you are explicitly mentioning, the user is explicitly mentioning that I am okay with this one. So I am trusting. The user is trusting the things. So then the same origin policy will not restricted in this URLs which are used in the source attribute, src attribute, and also the href attribute which you will be using for linking of the CSS files. So this is one of the important thing you need to understand. But you cannot use the Ajax request to make cross domain or cross origin request. Whereas in the Ajax, if you are trying to request a cross domain, means you cannot make those requests. So that is strictly prohibited. So that is one thing you need to understand. That is the reason when you are trying to make an Ajax call or anything, you will be able to get this cross origin policy principle. same origin, cross origin request, you cannot make it. Like this, you'll be able to get it. Now you need to understand that in today's complex web environment, so this in today's web environment, having same origin policy is too restrictive. So why? Because you cannot make a request to cross origin request. So right now in this micro architecture or like a distributed architecture, so we cannot, it is not possible for us. So this becomes too restrictive. Because of this reason, in 2006, the engineers or developers introduced a standard that is called as an cross origin resource sharing. And this is the way to relax the same origin policies and also the restrictions. This is the CORS. This is why the CORS has been came. Okay. And CORS is just a specification. It is just a document, a set of rules that the browser must follow. CORS allows a server to define what origin it will share resources with. So here CORS means cross origin. It will allows the server to define what origins will be allowed. So you need to mention the origins. Origins means nothing but the domains or host name. So I have explained you the meaning of what comes under the origin. It should have the same protocol, it should have the same port, and it should have the same host name. Then only it will come the same origin. So to share the resources with. So in effect, a server can indicate which domain, which scheme means HTTP or HTTPS or port other than its own. So here the server can indicate it. CORS request can be in one of the two forms. So CORS request, when you are trying to make a CORS request, it will be in one of two forms. One is simple request and another one is a pre-flight request. So what is the simple request and what is this pre-flight request? We'll try to learn it. First we'll see about the simple request. If the HTTP method is get, post or head. Okay, head, what is this head means? We have learned about this get, post, delete, put and all those things, right? But we haven't understood about this head request. I will try to explain you in the next video what is this head thing. But now you need to understand that if the HTTP method is a get, post or head, and the content type is one of the type like text/plain, URL form encoded or multi-part by form data is, so this is the way you will be having. If these conditions are met, then this request is said to be a simple CORS request, and this request can be initiated without any preliminary checks. So you can initiate the request without any preliminary checks. So here if the HTTP method is a get, post or head, and also the content type if it matches with the text/plain, URL form encoded and multi-part by form data, then it is called as a simple request, simple CORS request. There are also different content types like applications, liaison, PDF, audio types, video types, image types, etc. are there. So, but the simple request will comes under only text/plain, URL form encoded, and also the multi-part by form data. Okay. So now you maybe understand that Leela, so this is nothing but submitting a form only, right? Yeah, it's true. So submitting the form is only the simple request, you can say it, but not always the submitting form is a simple request. Sometimes through the Ajax also you will be making a simple CORS request, right? So that is the reason I'm trying to tell you. If the request is simple request, when you are making a request, two things will happen. So now when the HTTP request is a simple request, so it is a simple request means, so when you are trying to make a request, then two things will happen. What are those two things? So these are very important things which the browser and server will interact. You need to understand these things. Then only you can able to understand the HTTP requests and all those things very clearly. One is the browser is going to add an origin header. Okay. When you are trying to make a simple request, automatically the browser will add an origin header. This header describes the origin from where the request has been initiated, from where it's coming from. So automatically it will add an origin header. I will try to show you an example. Don't need to worry, but you try to understand it. One is a browser. Automatically it will add an origin header. And the second one is once the request is received by the server is going to tell the browser if the CORS request is valid. So if the CORS request is the request which you are trying to make is valid or not by appending the access control allow origin header to the response. So it will add the access control allow origin header to the response. So these are the two things it will happen. Okay. So this is how it will make, the CORS request will be there. There are two types. There is nothing but one is simple request and the other is the pre-flight request. Simple request, which when we can say that when the HTTP method is get, post or head, and also the content type is text/plain and URL form encoded or multi-part by form data, then the request is called as a simple CORS request. When the request is a simple CORS request means then two things will happen. One is the browser will add the allow origin header to that request header, and the server will say and the server will add you the access control allow origin header, whether you can have access or not to the response. So we'll try to see with an example. Hope you understood about these types of cars. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.